a resume writing service. Now here's a screenshot. And it really gets me very upset because I can see that for a text CV, they want to charge you how much? 8,000 rupees for one CV. And for a visual CV, 10,000 rupees. And by the way, here's the ironic part. A visual CV will never pass through an applicant tracking system. A visual CV is guaranteed to fail and they're charging you more for it. Here's another example. This is an example from an international job portal which also does a lot of work in India. They're charging you 22,000 rupees for one CV for the so-called senior level of experience, which is 8 to 15 years, which by the way is not senior, it's middle to senior level. 22,000 rupees to write one CV or one resume. And what happens is that when you create one resume, because you've spent so much of money, you're forced to use it in all the places you apply for. And when you do that, you will definitely fail. Because the reason is you need to customize resumes. And the reality is, I want you to learn resume writing skills so that you know how to create resumes yourself. You should be completely independent of any resume writer, even independent of me, independent of any coach. You should have the best resume writing skills in the world, and you can. And once you do that, you can then customize resumes for every single job that you apply for. And it's very, very important to do that because of a villain at the gate called the applicant tracking system. So, time for a poll. Quickly tell me, have you ever used a resume writing service? Yes or no? Let us know. Myth number 2, that when you submit your resume online to the HR manager, it will be read by the HR manager. That's a complete myth. Chances are very high it will take a one-way trip into the dustbin. I'm sorry to be blunt, but that's the reality. Why? Because if you look at, for example, this snapshot of this job, there were 3,637 applicants for this one role. Do you think any HR manager in the world can go through 3,500 resumes? Of course not. They can't and they don't. They pass it through an applicant tracking system, a software which will weed out most of the resumes. So on the right hand side of this image, you can see a couple of brands. These are the brands of applicant tracking systems, and there are many, many others, but they all have one role, which is to weed out as many resumes, to remove as many resumes as possible and give the HR manager a manageable number of resumes. So here's probably what happens. In most jobs, for example, if you have 1,000 resumes or 1,000 applicants, the applicant tracking system will pass only about 10% to the HR manager and rank them in order of the keyword match between the job description and the resume content. So the HR manager gets 100 resumes, but he's still not even going to read all 100. He's going to read the top 10, 20. And then from there, he's going to call 4 people or 5 people for the interview, and then one person gets the job. This image is the reality of how job search and how hiring actually happens. And you and I have to beat this, okay? And there's a way to beat it, which I'll talk about. Myth number 3, in a resume, you have to write your entire professional history. Not true. Please don't write your entire professional history, especially for those of you who have 10, 15, 20 years of experience, because that's frankly so boring and very, very irrelevant. The HR manager is not interested in what you did when you started your career. They are interested in what you are currently doing, because that's where you have relevant, transferable skills. Because that's what they want. If they're going to hire you, they want to know what are the skills you currently have, which can be leveraged for the role that they are considering. So what you did 10 years back, 15 years back is very, very irrelevant. So the reality is, remember that when it comes to writing your resume, remember WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's what the HR manager or the reader is thinking. If I read your resume, what's in it for me? Why should I be spending 8 or 10 or 15 seconds scanning through your resume? I don't want to know what you did 10 years back. I want to know what you did today, yesterday, this year, last year, because that's where you have what? Relevant, transferable skills. So please remember that. Myth number 4, that in a resume, you talk about your responsibilities. And many people feel like it's a medal that they've got. I managed this, I led this, I organized this, I coordinated this. Guys, take a chill pill. Nobody cares what you manage, what you led, what you organized, what you coordinated. HR and talent acquisition managers are only focused on what did you achieve out of your responsibilities. They're not interested in the input, they're interested in the output. What were the outcomes of the time that you spent in your current or maybe in your last company? And that output needs to be very focused and have numbers. So the wrong way of writing a bullet point in a resume is, I was responsible for client acquisitions. So what? Big deal. You were responsible for it. But how many clients did you acquire? That's what I want to know. So the right way is, I acquired 3 clients in 6 months. Now this is very sharp, very short, very measurable. You can't dispute those numbers. 3 clients in 6 months. And in some industries, that's great. But an even better way is to say, I acquired 3 clients in 6 months who contribute to 5% incremental revenue. Because when you do that, it shows that you have a financial or business bent of mind, even if you're not in finance. So especially for those of us who have nothing to do with finance, if you want to separate yourself from the competition, bring in this little financial metric. Try to show the HR manager that you know how your work somehow directly or indirectly contributes to the bottom line of the company. Because companies don't hire you and me for our looks, they hire us for our ability to add to the profit of the company. So if you're able to directly or indirectly talk about financial measurements, that's the gold standard. But if you can't, at least talk about achievements, don't talk about responsibilities. Okay. Myth number 5, a resume is a document. Yes, it's a document, but it's not a boring fuddy-duddy document. In reality, your resume is your marketing brochure. It's a document which has to sell you in 8 seconds. That's the time that a HR manager will first scan your resume, between 8 to 10 seconds max. And it has to be very, very scintillating. It has to be crisp. It has to, as they say, sell the sizzle. It has to portray you as unique, interesting, and impressive. So there are strategies to get a resume to do that. And then there's people who have absolutely no idea how to do that. And their resumes are very, very boring and dull and run into multiple pages, 5 pages, 6 pages, 10 pages long. In today's world, your resume cannot exceed 2 pages. And if it does right now, you're in very hot water. Strategy number 3, please use the WIIFM, what's in it for me strategy, to rewrite your resume and see it in your mind as your marketing brochure, which is selling you in the job market. Now, when you are searching for a job, like other people in the job market, you have to sell yourself. You're a brand. And just as brands have press ads and TVs ads, etc., your resume is your marketing brochure. So if you don't want to be seen like an aloo piyaz as a commodity, and if you want to be seen as a brand, you need to have a top-notch resume. All right, so let's take a look at, while I have a quick water break, what did we do so far? We learned strategy 1, which is basically focus less than 20% on job portals and recruiters. Strategy 2, make sure that professional networking takes up over 80% of your time, because that's where the best results come from. Strategy 3, please avoid the 5 key mistakes that I showed you in your resume. But guess what? There is still a lot more that I have to teach you if you want to really, really get your dream job. One is how to research for jobs the right way, which map with your career goals. How to create a top-notch LinkedIn profile, because you are going to be scanned on LinkedIn first. That's your number 1 digital asset. How to craft a world-class resume. You saw the 5 myths, but there are strategies and tactics on creating the kind of resume that will delight the HR manager and pass through any ATS. How to network professionally. Now, in this webinar, you saw a little bit. We scratched the surface of how to do that, but there's a lot more which needs to be taught. How to face job interviews confidently. The big day is your job interview day, and body language, grooming, job interview questions. There's a lot that I have to teach you. how to negotiate your salary like a pro. If there's one thing that I can share with you as a coach, it's this: organizations will always pay you the least they can to retain you. And it's your responsibility to your family and to yourself to get the highest possible salary through negotiations. I'm going to teach you how to resign with grace, because you are going to require the same people you're leaving when you change your next job for recommendations, for referrals. I've got to teach you how to ace your first 90 days in your new job. It's one thing getting a new job, but you really have to shine there, because first impressions are lasting impressions with your new boss, team members, and top management. I've got to teach you how to win at office politics. Like it or not, office politics exists in every organization. You can either be a victim to it, or you can leverage it ethically without hurting anyone to achieve your goals. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got to teach you how to manage your boss, because your boss has the maximum impact on your happiness and success in your new company, or the lack of it. And then I've got to teach you how to make significant career changes. So if you want to change from career A to career B, I can show you how to do that and get a job in a new career, even if you have absolutely no experience there. So there's a lot which needs to be covered. And frankly, so far, I think we have just done less than 10% of all that I have to share with you. But if we were to remain on this webinar, and if I was to teach you everything, we would be together for over the next 15 hours, more than that actually. And I know that's not practical, that's not possible. You have a life, you need to be doing other things. So we have to come up with a solution. There is a solution, which is you have two choices. And whatever choice you take, that decision is yours. So choice number one is, right now you can exit. And you can say, you can brush your hands and say, all right, that's it. I've learned whatever I could in this 1 hour, and I hope I can remember it, and I'll try to apply it in my job search. But guess what? In 24 hours, you would have forgotten over 50% of what you have learned, because the human mind needs repetition and reinforcement to learn new concepts, and you've learned a lot of new things today. And in 48 hours, I guarantee you would have forgotten everything. So your second choice is to continue our professional partnership, where I can continue coaching you to get the job that you want and teach you all that we couldn't cover in the webinar, all the other stuff that I just spoke about, via my online program, my flagship program called the Dream Job Masterclass. It's the only kind of its program. It's a 2-in-1 combo course, the only kind of program in the world where I will teach you how to find a new job and then thrive in it to get faster promotions and higher salary hikes. I don't leave you just at getting a new job, but we go much, much deeper. So in this program, in section 1 of the program, we will start with job research. I'll show you how to get organized for it, how to research the job market. There's something called the Vox Pop strategy, which I used to get jobs at Max New York Life, at Cargill. I'll talk to you about the Indian job market and how it's currently changing and what does that mean for you. We will map out your career, your goals, and do a SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for you. So the value, not the price, but the value of this section is 1,000 rupees. Then we will go very deep into LinkedIn. I will help you construct, or you will learn how to construct a perfect LinkedIn profile. Step by step, you will be taught what you need to do at every stage of your profile to create a world-class one. I'll show you more about the LinkedIn networking strategy. I'll give you the checklist. We will review many LinkedIn profiles so that you get some real-world example. And then I will share with you how to use LinkedIn to build your personal brand. The value of this section of lessons is 2,000 rupees. We will then go into resumes, which is a very critical part of job search, right? It's a very important asset. So I'll help you construct a perfect resume. I'll show you what is called resume optimization. So you will watch over my shoulder as I take job descriptions and I take resumes, and then I use software to pull out, extract keywords from a job description and put it into the resume. I will share with you my resume template that I personally use to get jobs at Unilever, Johnson & Johnson, and as Chief Marketing Officer at the companies I worked at. I will critique 20 resumes and show you resumes of actual managers from junior, middle, and senior management. I'll show you the mistakes they're making so that you don't make them. I'll give you a checklist and then a cover letter and a cover letter template strategy so that you can combine your resume with cover letters which are not used in India, but when you use them, your resume rises head and shoulders above your competition. The value of all of this is over 2,000 rupees. Then we will look at section 4, which is networking. We will go deeper into the blue ocean strategy, help develop your elevator pitch. I'll talk to you about the SAT model. So far we covered the CAT model. There is something else called the SAT model, which I'll talk to you about. Then we will cover the HireX email templates. If you remember, one of the questions people say is that once I connect with a talent acquisition manager, what do I write to them? Here is a list of 6 templates which I have prepared for you. You just have to copy paste them and you can write to any talent acquisition manager. So the value of this section is 3,000 rupees. Then we come to the big day, the job interview day. Here I'll teach you about body language and how to project amazing confidence, even if you're not feeling confident. I'll talk to you about about grooming and how to come across as a very polished professional, to the interview board. We will talk about how to ace job interview questions, the 3 stages of job interviews, and I'll give you a list of 68 job interview questions that always get asked, and some of them are very advanced and tricky. The value of this section is 3,000 rupees. Then the exciting part, section 6, salary negotiations. Many of my students have used this section of lessons to get 40, 80, 100 to 125% hike in the salary, because I teach them something called the price anchor strategy, which is used against you by HR. And once you know what it is, you can turn the tables on them and leverage it and use it against them. I'll help you find out what is your true worth in the marketplace. We will create something called your salary research document. I'll teach you how to negotiate with HR to get the highest possible salary, and then give you some pro tips from the FBI negotiation technique. The value of this section of lessons is 3,000 rupees. Then we come to resignations, right? You've got to learn how to resign gracefully. I'll give you a resignation letter template. I'll show you how to face the exit interview without burning your bridges, and how to even shorten your notice period. Some of you have a 90-day notice period and you find it really hard to get a new job. I'll show you how to shorten that. The value of this section is 1,000 rupees. Then we move to the next section. Once you get your job, it's not the time to relax, not at all. In the next 90 days, you've got to really impress your new boss, your new team members, and top management, because they're trying to figure out, did they do the right thing in hiring you? So I'll give you a game plan for the first 30 days, the next 30 days, and the final 30 days. A 90-day plan to ensure that, once you have set your first positive impression, then it's set for life in that company. Section 9 is all about office politics. This course would be incomplete without it, because you cannot avoid office politics. You can either become a victim to it, and most people become helpless victims. I will show you how to not become a victim, how to leverage it to achieve what you want, and how to avoid the people who play the dirty part of office politics, and make sure you don't become a victim to them. We'll also talk about how to manage your boss, because that's also a very political game. If you want to get faster promotions and salary hikes, it's not good enough just doing your work and doing it well. You have to manage your boss and learn how to do that. The value of this section is 3,000 rupees. Then finally, I'll talk about career change. So if you really want to, if you're mid-career, if you want to make a significant change, and if you don't have experience, I'll teach you how to get jobs in any career change of your choice, in any field. No experience, no problem. You learn how to do that. The value of this section is 2,000 rupees. So pulling back, this is the course content. Research, LinkedIn, resumes, networking, job interviews, salary negotiations, resignations, your first 90 days, winning at office politics, and changing careers. And if you put all the value of that together, the course value is 22,000 rupees. Now, once again, this is not the price, but this is the value that you get from the course. Plus, I've got a special bonus for you. For being on the webinar, for spending time with me, this is something I do not give out from my website. I'm going to give you the job search tracker. This is an Excel file with 8 templates, which you can see here. And the aim of these templates is to help you in a very systematic manner go through your job search so that it doesn't become overwhelming. These are trackers, and the value of this is 1,000 rupees. And then your second bonus, once again, for being with me on this webinar, I will give you the Dream Job Playbook, which is a software based on Trello. It's an online command and control center, which tells you exactly where you are in your job search, what are your next steps. There are reminders, there are checklists, and all of the good stuff. The value of this is 2,000 rupees. So let's add everything together. You have a section of lessons in the course, which will help you get a new job. Then you have a section of lessons which will help you accelerate in your career and do very, very well in your new job. Because that's what you want, right? We change job once in every 4 to 5 years, but we have to manage our career every single day for faster promotions and salary hikes. So that is fully covered in the course. And then there are bonuses. So the value of the course and the bonuses is 25,000 rupees. But guess what? Despite the fact that this course value is way over 25,000 rupees, because you get unlimited lifetime access to it, I'm not going to be charging 25,000 rupees. Because I know that these are hard times, these are difficult times. A lot of people have been laid off, people have career gaps, people have taken sabbaticals and are trying to come back. So I do not want to charge the true value of this course. I'm not even going to be charging half of that, not even 12,500. Not even 5,000 rupees. I want to make this course as affordable to as many people as possible. That's important for me, to make sure that as many people get it and can benefit from the course. And therefore, your course price for the entire course and the bonuses is 1,999 plus tax. That's it. You pay this price once, 1,999 plus tax, and you get 97 lessons, over 15 hours of content for life, for your current job search, for your career management, and all your future job searches. Chandna Ram took this program and she said, I got 3 job offers in just 2 weeks after graduating from the Dream Job Masterclass. Ritu Kundu says, with Vikram's course, the Dream Job Masterclass, I got 8 job offers and selected the best. This sounds unbelievable, right? How can anyone get 8 job offers? Well, here is a message he sent me in the members area. She said, hi Vikram, I received 8 job offers with different and lucrative remuneration. I could negotiate my salary without feeling shy and felt quite confident, thanks to your suggestions. Only Vikram's course could help me get 3 job offers in 15 days, says Rahul Sonawane. And here is a screenshot of the message he sent me. Glad to admit that after doing the program, within 15 days, I got 3 dream job offers and decided to join one of it at a good pay scale and high grade. I applied for only 4 jobs and got 1. Most people apply for 40 jobs, but she applied for 4 and she was very, very focused. Ankita was super focused and she got a job at Citibank. Vikram's course, the Dream Job Masterclass, helped me get a general manager role at Bata, says Karan Uppal. After the 3rd month, I had multiple offers come in. I selected a job with a very significant hike, says Pramod Naresh Kumar. Vikram's course, the Dream Job Masterclass, helped me get 2 job offers in 6 weeks, even after a 15-month gap, says Kritika Acharya. The Dream Job Masterclass helped me get 2 job offers in 8 weeks. I'm stunned, says Amrish. And there are many, many, many other such glowing testimonials from the program. So wrapping up, it's time now for this webinar to come to an end. Right now, You may be facing a lot of challenges. Job search could be confusing, like entering this maze, chaotic, messy, very, very stressful. You may not have any companion or a mentor or a guide. But when you combine your technical skills with the power of the Dream Job Masterclass together, you become like a hot knife through soft molten butter, and you can easily go on to the other side of the maze to get your dream job in the shortest time possible. So this is what the course looks like. These are all the lessons and the sections that you see there. The course value is 25,000 rupees, but you can buy it right now on this webinar for 1,999 plus tax for unlimited lifetime access. And I hope you will take me up on this offer. Come over to the course page. There's a button that you can see on the dashboard on your screen right now. Click the button and come over to the course page. See what's in it for you. And then join us in the program. Your purchase is backed by a no questions asked 7-day full money back refund. So you have nothing to worry about. No stress whatsoever. But once you come into the course, you will learn through the lessons everything that you need to know about how to find your dream job in the shortest time possible. Let me coach you and guide you to do that. Sanjay got a job as a chief operating officer at a very top-notch NBFC recently in Mumbai. And he wrote into me later and said, "Thanks so much, Vikram. And the experience of connecting with you has been really, really awesome. Would recommend this masterclass to everyone that I connect with." I mean, anyone who can benefit from this great content, and more importantly, you as a coach and mentor to shape their future irrespective of the age and stage that one is at.